Today, we are having a little discussion. A really serious video, by the way. We're talking about Zazan in Premium. As you know, I'm a really big fan of Premium. Always have been. I enjoy the bigger card pool, all of the little interactions that can be done because of all these years of Vanguard that I don't want to see go. And for the first time, I am not enjoying it. Like, when I play, I'm just like, Brewing was fun. Figuring things out with Zazan in your clan, that was fun. But once you get to like this solved state where you actually have to play with it, that sucked ass. Playing the new Premium collection without Zazan is the best Premium I have ever played. It is so fun. So let me just say that. Now, if you don't have the attention span to watch this entire video, just go ahead and tweet your thoughts about Zazan. Have you playtested with it? Have you seen any games where you were like, wow, this fucking sucks? Tweet it out with the hashtag Zazan20 because I do want to get this little movement going, let's say. So Zazan, essentially when it was first revealed, it was revealed together with Tempest Sphere. And so Sphere I really liked because it's a really well-designed card. It turns up your GB, so a lot of older GB cards now have a chance to shine. A lot of older strides, which were initially tied behind bigger GB costs, also have their time to shine. It searches for vanillas, so if you want to plus off it, you have to run some, but they can be in the triggers. They can be your heals, so it's also defensive power creep, in the sense that you can search for your heals, but you also turn on your G-Guardians that require a flip. So Tempest Sphere was a really good card in that regard. It also costed a counterblast. So if there was any deck that came of it that was very degenerate, it still required CB to reach its win con. So if there was any degeneracy that Tempest Sphere created, it could be denied. In general, Tempest Sphere was a properly costed defensive card that also changed the game. So when I saw these two reveals, I was like, whoa, Tempest Sphere is so cool, and like I started brewing, and I wasn't really giving Zazan too much thought until I was done with Tempest Sphere, and I was like, okay, what can we do with Zazan? We quickly noticed, together with WCC as well, that Zazan is just pure AIDS. Now, I've been seeing memes going around of people showing off, oh look, Zazan can do an OTK, you can die on turn 2, and while that is annoying, that is not the reason Zazan is an issue. There are decks so much more degenerate than the Calico meme. So when people saw these videos and then started testing and they were like, oh, Calico, that's the problem, ban Calico. I'm like, no. Zazan is the problem. We can talk shit about Calico with Amaterasu and like, okay, it's a painful combo. The only reason it's working this way is because Zazan exists. And more importantly, there's like 5 other completely batshit stupid decks out there because of Zazan. And that Calico meme, which happens once every 5 or 6 or 7 games, is not the reason Zazan is an issue. If I could choose to go to an event and play 7 rounds against only Calico or against only these other Zazan ridiculous fucking decks, I will choose the Calico every time. Yes, sure, I will have to mulligan for a PG. Oh, boo-hoo. I'd still rather do that than getting my face looped off on turn 3. So now that that's out of the way, Calico is not the problem. We've already been seeing on Discords people figuring out the issues. We have people getting to Spike's GB8 way faster, which is annoying because they can just 0 damage you for a while. Well, not that it matters. Everyone can Zazan into Bobo or use the stupid new Cray Elemental, the grade 1, that forces you to attack Vanguard, so who cares? But you know, if you don't draw those or you don't run those, Spikes can keep you at 0, instantly go to their GB8 via Zazan, and then just instantly loop you out of the game and die. If they don't do that, they could also just bash your face in. Like, you know, if you go first and you hit your Zazans, we're essentially playing standard. We're essentially going, okay, guess I go first, guess I hit this piece, guess I win. That is really lame. If you play Ripples, for example, if you play Aqua Force and you reuse your Zazan with Odysseus while you're on Soterio, you can also do some ridiculous shit. You can have your lanes of 20k or 40k on turn 2. Then you will also restand that with Pavrot. Jesus Christ. You have OTT instantly reaching Ichikishima. You have fucking Pale Moon Loop with Songster instantly being live. And all of this revolves around having Zazan, yeah? So Calico is not a problem. When you play these decks, the only question in your mind is, did I draw Zazan? No? Oh, damn. Now I have to play a real game. Oh, I did draw Zazan. Okay. Game over. GG, bro. Next. That is awful. Jesus Christ. That is Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah? And I mean, I'm not a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Hater, as we have with many Vanguard players, but there's some issues in that game that we are seeing with Zazen. And let's just, Jesus Christ. I'm prefacing this whole video with this explanation because my mind is blown when I see people saying that Zazen is not the problem. Dude, have you tested at all? To be completely transparent, I have sent an email to Bushiroad about this weeks ago. Yeah? So only like 2 days or so, maybe 3 days after Zazen was revealed, we started figuring out all of this shit. And I was like, wow, this is awful. I wanna die. Fuck this. So I sent a massive email to Bushiroad explaining, look, this is the worst premium format you have ever created because of reason this. It was probably like 4,000 words. And they replied. I could also just give you the actual email. Let's see. You often have like these copy-paste answers, you know. You say, oh, this is a problem. And they go, oh, we take your concerns very seriously. Goodbye. That was not the answer they gave me. Just saying, like, I sent them this massive email and I got back this. We understand the severe implications of the matter you have brought up to us regarding the premium format and will be escalating it for further investigation. So that is important. Would it be possible for you to provide the following to assist in our investigation? The deck lists for the decks involved in testing, so this shows that they're actually interested in looking like into this further, not just some, okay, fuck off, we'll see when people actually cry about it. No, actual investigation. And then in-depth statistics on the tests mentioned in your email, which deck was played against which and the win-loss count for each. We take your concerns regarding the health of the game environment seriously, and we will take action where necessary to ensure that Cardfight Vanguard remains enjoyable for all. So this then sparked some more emails back and forth, some interesting stuff. We're sharing a lot of data with them to really just show, hey, this is a fucking problem. Obviously, I myself don't have the power to just change a game. I hope so much is obvious. It would be insane, but I can't. This is where everyone else comes in. Now, if you love Zazen, go ahead and just click off this video. I don't know what's wrong with you, but, you know, if you love it, cool. However, if you also see the massive issue that this stupid card brought forward and have actually tested and have actually found out like, damn, this is really not fun to play, I do not want to play like this, you should send them an email. Again, I want to make sure that you know that I'm not telling you to send the email if you haven't experienced how shit it truly is. Because, you know, we don't want to create this kind of shitstorm in Bushiroad that is artificial, you know. I'm just bringing to your attention that it is perfectly possible to tell them about issues you've had. So if you have played with Zazen, or you saw gameplay with Zazen, and you think, God, this is awful, I wish I could do something about it, I want you to send them an email. Or place a comment or tweet it out. I don't know. That's also why we have the hashtag Zazan20 to show like, hey, this thing should just be banned upon arrival. Now, from a gameplay design, let me make it very clear. What are the actual issues with this card? First of all, it is a Soul Blast. It cannot be denied. The thing with Sphere is that as the meta evolves and we see some degenerate combo coming from Sphere, we always know, hey, we can still counterblast deny this. And that is somewhat of a balancing act. You know that no matter how toxic something is, there is counterplay. And that is the most important part about a skill-based card game. Counterplay exists, and that's a good thing, so the card is a bit more healthy. That is not the case for Zazen. Zazen is a Soul Blast. So it's just free. You know, if you say soul is a cost, like, get out. Maybe in Great Nature it is, because they eat so much soul. Maybe in Genesis it can be. I don't know, you know. There's some clans where soul is a cost, but in general, soul is not a cost. Soul might as well be free. Sure, it makes it so you can't spam 3 of them on turn 1, but beyond that, it's just free as hell, and it's ridiculous. It cannot be denied. What is the second issue with it? It turns on GB. So every single interaction that was actually made to happen later in the game now happens much faster. Now again, if this was behind an actual cost that could be denied, and degenerate strategy could be stopped. But now it can't be. This also means it can be done from turn 1, which also has its implications. Now another issue is the fact that this turns up Cycloned. By having a card that's essentially costless, that's also turning up GB, But then specifically turning up Cyclone, it's buffing up all your vanillas. So now you suddenly have these gigantic vanilla beat sticks that just bash your opponent in the face from turn 1. That is ridiculous. There is no reason why that should be a thing. If you use 1 Zazen and a Sphere or 2 Zazan, you suddenly give 10k to every vanilla, which can be 20k to a row. And so on turn 2, you're essentially playing with cards that are statted as if you're striding already. You know, like late G, you had something like a Drag Abyss giving you 20k to your front row if enough grade 1s were in the drop. That was usually like your second stride. Now you have it on turn 2 because you drew a Zazan. That is ridiculous. Let's not. So, it is free. Yeah, no, it's free. It can therefore not be denied in any way. It turns on GB, so you speed up your deck and any win con you may have. And then it also gives power to a bunch of vanillas that makes it so you can literally play with stride numbers on turn 2. But that is not all. Because beyond all of that, it also had to plus. Going +2 is nuts. You place this card. You have to call 2 from hand, okay, so that's a -2 from hand, but you're going +2 to field, so it's like a net. Let's say, okay, you also had to place it, but often you ride it, so let's look past that, but then you draw 2. So net, you just went +2 to field. And you decked in for better cards than your vanillas. You are essentially doing what a Nemain did, which was so powerful, it instantly went into Luar decks to make an insane grade 2 game. Like, it's not even about the fact like, oh, you get extra grade 1s for Morfessa. It's also just the freest grade 2 game ever. You're doing what Nemain does, but just so much better instantly, turning up GB and also giving a bunch of 10ks to your front. Like, how? How? Neo Nectar had like the best grade 2 game, right? And now suddenly you have a card that single-handedly gives you a better grade 2 game than Neo Nectar had to every deck, no matter the circumstances. So let me TLDR this one more time, because I really, like, I'm seeing people who don't see the problem. How do you not see the problem? Costless, therefore cannot be denied. Turn up all your GB skills. Pump up everything from turn 1 or 2 to insane numbers. And plus super hard. In one card. That's generic. Can go in any deck. And all it requires you to do is run these boring vanillas. I would have been fine with a pure aggro deck if it was just that, an aggro deck. But the issue is that it went beyond that. It is so powerful because of Zazan that is now just a splashable engine that you throw into any deck. And literally any deck is better because of it. If you have room in your deck for Zazan and like a couple vanillas, you don't even need that many, there is no point in not running it. I feel like when they designed this card, they didn't consider that, hey, what if just everyone ran this? Because if this was just its own Cray Elemental deck, and by the way, didn't the advertising say that? Like when they advertised, oh, Cray Elemental, it will be its own archetype, its own deck. That's how they advertised Cyclone, I think. Like, will be its own deck. I don't think they meant will be every deck, but that is essentially what Zazan does. You should just try it for yourself, you know. Turn your triggers into vanillas, apart from maybe 4 crits or something. Run maybe 7 more other vanillas, and for Zazan, boom, your deck is better. Just like that. Which is fine for budget players, but it's awful for competitive tournaments. I can literally see a future where the entire top 8 of every event is, you know, just your clans, but then if you look into deck lists, it's just all forms of Zazan, and that is awful. If you are heroically defending this card, I'm gonna assume that you are a Spike Brothers player, a Songster Loop player, or you really like just the most brainless aggro we've ever seen. Because if not one of these 3, there is no reason you could ever like Zazan in any way whatsoever. Now, I already know these types of videos get dislikes, you know. When I made a video like this about Katrina, everyone was like, oh, what an idiot, you just don't like Neo Nectar. No, I just like realized a stupid card when I saw one. It only took 12 months before everyone else agreed. But don't you worry, Zazan is way worse than that. So I'm hoping this time we will actually have a lot of people with a lot of sense, because it's just so obvious. It's like we are on planet Earth and you see this massive meteorite coming at you. And you think like, stupid YouTuber, what do you know? This meteorite isn't gonna hit us, even though it's like 10 meters away from you. Like, just so you know, I will be making some more content around this, some more fun content. This is a serious video, by the way. This is the type of video that I'm perfectly willing to show Bushiroad and go like, look, I made a serious video for you. There will be less serious ones. What's the TLDR? Zazan will be in literally every premium deck. There is no reason not to run it. It is so strong. It does so much for free. It cannot be denied in any way. Most people die on turn 2 or turn 3 to either insane rush or some infinite loop. So if you find Zazan an issue, email this email address. Let them know. Now again, I'm saying very specifically, if you do not have an issue with Zazan, do not email them. We do not want to overrun them with emails inorganically. This is if you weren't aware that you could email them. Now you know. And beyond that, tweet it out if you don't like it. Hashtag Zazan20. I hope other content creators can join me in this crusade. When it comes to Vanguard, it is my current #1 objective to get this banned before it even hits the shelves. Very, very, serious note. I do not say this shit posting or trolling or even to talk shit on the company, because Bushiroad SEA in those emails has shown me that they really care, and I am thankful for that. Now I'm essentially asking Bushiroad, hey, ban this card before release. Or, right after release. Technically, you have a ban list coming in August that is scheduled, so you do have a prime moment to ban it. I know internally, Bushiroad now may be thinking, damn, we can't ban this, it just came out. That's going to be awful for morale within maybe investors, maybe buyers, maybe shops, maybe distributors. But you know what's even worse? People not playing the game. That is probably the worst type of morale you could have as a business. So from a PR standpoint, I understand that banning something close to release is very bad. It doesn't show nicely, but I will have so much more respect for a company that is willing to show, hey, we were wrong, rather than trying to keep this nice face. Because let's be real, we've all been on Facebook, we've all been on Twitter, we've all been on Discord. Everyone basically knows there's a problem. So just acknowledge it. Ban it. That's all. Hashtag Zazan20.